All right, what's good, Commander fans? You know what it is. It's day two of that quote unquote legal tampering in the NFL, which tomorrow starts at 4 o'clock, is the official day of free agency. And if you think the first 2 days of this legal tampering in the NFL is crazy, then you have not seen anything, because tomorrow is Wednesday and it will be more things going on than we have ever imagined in this free agency. But I don't want to focus on none of the other teams. The only team I want to focus on is my Washington Commanders, in which they have made a lot of great moves, cost-efficient moves. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, we signing a lot of bums, we doing this, we doing that. Well, the thing about it is, we're going to still have money going into next year. These guys that we signing is only like 1, 2, maybe 3 years because if you think about it, look at the contracts that these guys are signing. We got some for 1 year, we got some for 2 years, probably 3. But if you think about it, we building through the draft, we supplementing through free agency. So who we don't have this year after this year, we could bring in some more people. By that time, within a 2-year span, the Commanders will have their own guys where they don't even have to look into free agency to get anybody. They could continue to use their guys fresh. Rookies being one of their 1 or 2 years, then they can add on to that through the draft. That's how the 49ers have built their draft. That's how the New England Patriots have built their draft. That's how the Ravens built their draft. These GMs know how to this is how Adam Peters built through the draft. They know how to do this. So look at the roster, look at everything in the totality. They don't just say, well, oh, we just hired a bunch of bums. No, these guys still can play. These guys are cost efficient. These guys are going to play and make a name for themselves so they can play on other teams and get a little bit bigger contract. So if that has to be us, then that's fine. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be built the right way. So, but at the same time, we got to trust the process. Now, I'm going to start with the quarterback, because that was one of the main things. I probably won't go through too much of everybody. I'm just going to probably do some honorable mentions as this videos go, as you listen to this video at the same time. Now, we signed former Eagle, former Atlanta Falcons quarterback Marcus Mariota today. We brought Mariota in as a bridge gap. You know what I'm saying? Because that tells you one or two things. Marcus Mariota signed a 1-year deal. He could run. He was at Oregon, ran a spread offense and everything like that. Now he was with Tennessee. He got drafted by Tennessee. We all know that. He ran Tennessee until they didn't, injuries kind of hurt him a little bit. But Marcus Mariota always showed that when he plays in the game, he does some great things. He could hurt you if you don't like him. But Marcus Mariota is not going to be the starter for the Commanders. I think that Marcus is going to provide a safe cushion, because Jacoby Brissett went back to New England. Sam Howell most likely is going to get traded. So that leaves only one thing that we could say. Jaden Daniels. There's a lot of reports starting to say that Drake Mays could be falling. But Jalen Daniels is the most logical pick because you got to think Kingsbury runs a spread. You're gonna run the ball also, but you're gonna have a more dynamic quarterback. So what kind of quarterback that you was gonna get? Yeah, you was going to get somebody that is very mobile. And that's what Cliff Kingsbury said. You got to be mobile. You got to be able to get out the pocket and make things happen. He doesn't see that with Sam Howell, and he doesn't see that with Drake May. And Drake May, for everybody say, oh, Drake May is this and Drake May is that. Okay, whatever the case might be. But you got to also understand that this offense is going to be prolific. It's going to have a lot of dimensions to it, a lot of spreads, a lot of gadgets, a lot of different things, a lot of different looks. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have a lot of hot routes. And you need a quarterback like Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota that's going to, because you got to think, Marcus Mariota could start the beginning of the season. Jaden Daniels could sit back and learn. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Marcus, because all you're going to do is keep Marcus Mariota on it for 1 year, so he could start the whole 1 year while Jaden Daniels sit back and learn. Then going into year 2, you turn it over to Jaden Daniels, and then you're going to have the team around Jaden Daniels where he could go in and execute. So I think that is really dynamic and unique on how they playing this right now, because they don't view Sam Howell. They're probably gonna get a pick. They might get a second or third round pick for Sam Howell in the trade. So that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that this, because you gotta think Jacoby Brissett wasn't gonna be the guy. I mean, some people think that he could still stay, but hey, it doesn't matter. But the Marcus Mariota, pick is to me, I think is good. Marcus played sparingly with the Eagles last season. He only getting $6 million and could reach $10 million with the Senators, and that's only if he hits certain criteria. That's why I kept saying Marcus Mariota could start the season for the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? And then Jaden Daniels takes over late in the season, or whatever the case may be. Hell, Jaden Daniels with the number 2 pick could come out and just take over. We don't know, but you want to have a quarterback that is familiar with the system. Jaden Daniels can sit and learn from him. It is not going to help having Sam Howell there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't see no. And then you're going to have a great tight end. Marcus Mariota is good with his feet. Like I say, he's good with his feet. He's just not good with the passing part. So, and you're going to have to rely on the running game. I do suspect going into tomorrow free agency, I do expect Washington to add more to the offensive line. So that way Jahan Williams and Tyron Smith comes in at. So I'm expecting either one of them two to be a Commanders tomorrow. Now, also, the Washington Commanders added to their defensive end. Because we signed Dorian Thompson yesterday. Now today we signed defensive end Dante Fowler Jr., who played in Dallas with Dan Quinn. So you already knew that was going to happen. That was going to happen. We got 2 Cowboys. Well, we signed 3 Cowboys, a center and two guys yesterday, 2 defensive ends. So you got to think, losing Chase Young, which we knew we was not bringing Chase Young back because Chase Young does not really have a market right now. I think the Saints is looking at him, and that's about it. But Chase hurt himself with his poor work ethic. But nevertheless, I ain't talking about him. So with Montez and Chase leaving, the defensive end the defensive ends was a must. We had to show up there because we didn't have nobody there. You gotta think, Abada, the other guy, I can't remember his name. Ridgeway. I think some of these guys are free agents and they're gonna be gone. And so, but you gotta think what Dan Quinn doing now. I just want to caution people because he's picking guys that's fast. He's guys that's quick. He's picking guys that's going to be aggressive. He's putting together a fast defense. Same way like 49ers, the same way like Dan Quinn had in his Atlanta days. So Dante Fowler comes over. Like I said, he comes over. He's I do believe he got a 1 or 2 year deal. I have to go back and look. But nevertheless, he's a quality defensive end. Very good. You know what I'm saying? Also, we got Ceylon Farrell as another defensive end for the 49ers. So Adam Peters brought his guy over. You know what I'm saying? So you picked up pretty much 3 defensive ends and you picked up a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? From Carolina. That was yesterday. And then today you got Jeremy Chinn, the safety, on a 1 year deal worth $5 million. And if he pans out, you could probably bring him in for a longer term. But you still got other notable guys out there. Now, some people say, well, because you bring Jeremy Chinn for a 1 year deal, which he's young, he's 26 years old. He also is very athletic. He'll run, he could blitz. Now, some people say, hey, what that spells for Cam Curl. Well, we don't know yet because Cam Curl, nobody's looking at Cam Curl and everything like that. But now, you could I could tell you this. If Washington signs Justin Simmons, then Cam Curl ain't coming back. There's no way Cam Curl come back. If we sign Justin Simmons, Cam Curl will not come back. I think the door's still open for Cam Curl with Jeremy Chinn on board. I mean, if they had signed Jeremy Chinn to probably 2 or 3 years, then I could see, Cam Curl not coming back. But a 1 year deal, the door's still open for Cam Curl to return. But if they go out tomorrow and sign Justin Simmons, there's a done deal. He won't come back at all. So, but we also addressed the offensive line again. We picked up Nick Alijah. He was probably the best offensive lineman with the Kansas City Chiefs last year. We still working on fixing the offensive line. So hopefully, like I said, Tyron Smith or Juwan Williams could get picked up tomorrow. That'll help that offensive line. And we bolster that offensive line. I think letting Mariota start for the whole year and being protected is going to allow Jalen Daniels to see the game from a different perspective and where he going to be ready to rock and roll. But I won't let him wait until the whole season like they did Sam Howell. I won't let them do that. If you have a chance to bring him in, bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Alijah, if I'm pronouncing this right, Alijah step up after the Chiefs lost Joe Tooney during the playoffs. As he started in the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, he only played 79 snaps in the Super Bowl before he tore his UCL after suffering injury in the second quarter. Alijah is the Commander's second signing of offensive line during the tampering process. And he also agreed to a 3-year, $30 million. And that's also bringing Dallas Cowboys center Tyler Biadasz over. So you got 2 offensive linemen. I suspect the Commanders to bring in 2 more onto the table. Given that the Commanders allowed the second most sacks in the NFL with 65, they have to shore up the offensive line at some point in time, because even though you got these two signings, you still need more depth on the offensive line. And you really want to protect your young quarterback and any quarterback that you put behind there. And you want to have a dominant running game with this offensive lineman signings. So that's where I feel like it's going to be really important for the Commanders to look tomorrow, going into the free agency fully, and getting the guys that didn't get picked up during the first 2 days of the legal tampering period. But nevertheless, I feel like the Commanders had did the things that they need to do. This is the first time in a long time that we have made moves, significant moves, not overspending moves, but significant moves to plug the needs that we have. That is the main issue that we have. We had needs across the board. We still have to address the wide receiver situation. We still have to address the wide receiver. We still got to address cornerback. We still got to address the safety position. We still got to address the offensive line. We still got to address the linebacker. We still got to address linebacker. There's still other things that we have to address on this team. It's not over yet. You know what I'm saying? These just the stepping stones. Like Adam Peters said, there's some, when he did his press conference with Josh Harris, he said there was cornerstones on this team. He already knew that this team needed work. He already knew that there's a lot of guys that he was not going to bring back. I mean, you got to look at it. Jacoby Brissett gone. Logan Thomas gone. Antonio Gibson gone. Curtis Samuel's about to be gone. I think he's about to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs over there. So he's going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? That's 4. And then you'd already cut Charles Leno and Nick Gates. So that's 6 people off this team. And then you already got rid of Chase. You already got rid of Montez. Kendall Fuller most likely going to be gone. Cam Curl, we don't know for sure about him yet. So you got to think. And then the other guys that we had on the team, the Ridgeways, all that, there's a lot of depth. So you looking at it from a standpoint of this roster is that, yeah, we signing these guys in free agency. Some of them going to be starters and some of them going to be depth plugins. Because when you draft, you drafting most likely in the first 2 rounds, your potential starters. The 3rd and 4th round is more like for depth, growing, and seeing what you got. Dan Quinn, they're going to build this roster. If you look at the guys that is on this roster right now, from the defensive standpoint and let's say it was defensive standpoint, it's all about speed, physicality. And this is going to help the likes of Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Federa Mathis if he could get right. You know what I'm saying? He might end up getting cut in training camp, you know what I'm saying, or preseason. You never know what might happen to him. So, and then we got KJ Henry there. That's another guy that we looking at that got promised. So he's going to be in the mix a little bit more. So there's a lot to desire for this team. You have to really pay attention to look into. So, like I said, it's short-term success for the long. It's short-term signings for long-term success. That's what I meant to say. Short-term signings for long-term success, because the Washington Commanders is still going to have money going into next year. If you notice, there ain't nobody on our team that needs a big contract. Everybody's still on the rookie deal. So you drafting rookies, you drafting guys for 1 or 2 year deals of cutting into the money. But guess what? Once those salaries up, the salary cap going to go back up next year. Washington's still going to be in a good position to have a lot of money to go out and sign guys and still add depth to this team. And guess what they're going to be doing? they're going to be in the draft, getting more compensation in the draft. And then by year 3, hell, I'm not saying that we cannot be in the playoff the first 2 years, but hell, year 3, I think we'd be in the Super Bowl because the way the team is being built. So that is my take on this. Washington Commanders signing. We got we signed Marcus Mariota, Pharrell. We also signed Jeremy Chinn, the safety, Jeremy Fowler, the junior, Marcus Mariota, Colin Chinn, and we also finally got a long snapper, also. So we got him. So that's a good thing. We needed a long snapper. Lord Jesus, we needed a long snapper because Cheeseman was pure ass this year, and I'm glad we addressed that quick in a hurry. So make it known that, hey, this is not what we about to do. So I'm glad of that. Also looking forward to see what else will we do. Hopefully we could get a wide receiver. There was talks about Hollywood Brown might be having interest with us. So that's going to be pretty good because guess what? He played for Cliff Kingsbury. So everybody that we have signed has ties to some part of this coaching staff. You got to look. Mariota, Brian Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense. Brian Johnson was over there last year. You got to think. Austin Eckler. Anthony Lynn a few years back. All the Cowboys signings. Dan Quinn. Hurts. Not Hurts, but Ertz. And possibly Hollywood Brown. Cliff Kingsbury. You know what I'm saying? So it all makes sense. You know, you get familiarity. The only two that probably don't have no connections is Chinn and the linebacker for Carolina. They're the only two that probably had no connections. And thank God we don't have no connections to Ron Rivera with them. So, guys, let me know what you think about the first 2 days of this NFL tampering process. How did the Redskins, how did the Commanders did in your eyes? What grade that you give them? What do you expect going forward for the full training, full free agency start at 4:00 tomorrow, and who you expect that the Commanders looking to sign? So there will still be moves to be made, but hey, this is what we wanted. This is what we're getting, and this is going to be exciting. So stay tuned till tomorrow because there ain't no news like Commander news. Until then, I'm out.